to take this opportunity to say good afternoon to each of you. Come on up, families. Y'all come on in. I'm going to take this opportunity to say good afternoon to each of you. And I was just sharing with the young man, as I was driving back, I had to run out and take care of an errand. And when I was coming back, a lot of times we like to call things magic and what have you. But certainly, due to the nature of this event and what really helps to make this happen, I said in my mind, today there is a miracle on Noble Street. And that's what I'm calling this event. And it's a miracle because none of our families, certainly many of us who work for the organization, we just don't know how these kind of things happen. But they just keep happening and they keep happening and they keep getting bigger, bigger, and better for our children and for the people that we serve here in this community. But one of the things that I always keep in mind, and I thought about this morning as I was kind of shaving up, trying to get myself together just a little bit. The olive itself. Everybody probably uses olive oil for so many different things. But so often people don't know the crushing of the nuts that really makes that oil come about. And much of what we're here to do today, or that's happening here today, was really just inspired by a family here in this community. And it's a family that's a part of our board, but he's also made his entire family a part of the Boys and Girls Club community. A little less, maybe 2 to 3 years ago, I want to make sure that I get it right. The Brothers family were expecting around the holiday time a new member of their family. And as much as we think that we're in control of life and things that happen, God has the final say-so as to how things happen in our lives. But what makes us who we are is that we learn to accept what he's decided and what he allows. And the evidence that this family accepted the decision that God made, because they went full term with their little one and they lost their little one. And they were so moved and inspired that they wanted to do something in his honor. And one of the things I was trying to just kind of keep a little bit of a secret, because I saw they walk up and started reading it. Well, this tree today is named John. And that's the name of the little one that's no longer physically present with us. But I even said, Walt, we didn't need to put any lights on this tree because it is lit with his spirit. And just look what you all started doing as a small family. Look how it has spread and grew into this community. Now, there have been many times, and I'm so grateful, that people have just really given back to our kids. But you've inspired something to the point where it has just caught on. You just don't recognize that one particular child in that household. You all have reached and you have taken care of families. And it has spread itself to businesses, corporations, you name it. They're here today. All of these things. And this is a miracle. Because even for some of these families and for some of these children, they didn't know how this was going to happen. And I'll tell you what really got to me the other day. I walked into Craig's building to have something taken care of. And I don't get to see the Christmas list, you all. I really don't. Because I have a staff, because I take credit for none of this. Let me say this. Because I have people who organize and they work hard to make all of this happen in a way from the standpoint of it's organized and we're really serving and reaching those who need us the most and who really need these things that are here today. Well, Craig said to me, one of the lists, and it just goes to show you sometimes we just don't know what the needs are of people. But one of the lists, the mother, the parent, said, I just want some detergent for Christmas. I did everything I could standing there with Craig to hold it together. But to know that you're not in this fight alone, it gives each and every one of us as staff, as board members, it gives us the strength, it gives us the will, because for so much of what we take for granted, in all the years of my life, I've never heard a person ask for if I could just have detergent to take care of to clean the clothes for my kids. You know, you think you get the meaning of this holiday and what it's about, and each time it comes with a new meaning. And this did not come with a cost. But here's what I will say to the family who helped to inspire this, and to all of you all from the community, family, and friends. We can't do this. But what I will say, here's the mission of the Boys and Girls Club: to reach young people, and especially those who need us most, through programs that help them to be productive and caring and responsible citizens. But you have grown our mission, because not only are we going to teach them those things, we're going to teach them to be nice and kind. And I don't take that for granted anymore. It's not a given that any of us just grows up and becomes just nice and kind. It has to be done with intent. So to all of you who've made this happen, and every one of you that I went to, you said yes in so many ways. Tony, Buck, you name it. Lord, I don't even know how he makes money out of his store. Because I come in there and I'm telling you, I don't. I really don't. And to have a board and to have a community. Y'all, you have done something that will be in the hearts and minds. Yeah, there's a lot to remember in 2020, and there's a lot to forget in 2020. But it's moments like this that cause you to pause and say, but guess what? The greatness of it is bigger than many of the challenges for some of us. So on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club, on behalf of our board, I've got a couple of board members here, certainly would give them an opportunity to express and give their thankfulness. But on behalf of my staff, who worked so hard, Lori Sistrom, she works really hard to organize her directors to make all of these things happen. And I did ask that our city manager come, because I want us to launch a campaign in this city that's about being nice and kind. I want people to when they come and visit this city, of all the things they may see or say, they will be able to say, but those people there are really nice and kind. That's the place where I want to live. So, Mr. Folks, if you will, I ask you to be here today, who's our city manager, to just come and thank the many here in our community who has made this opportunity possible for so many of our children.
Thank you, Johnny. And I'm not going to be long because it's not about me. But I will say to you this, in the great book that I read all the time, it says this: when two or more of my people will come together on one accord, touch and agree on one accord, I will be in the midst. That's what it says in the great book, and that's what is happening here today. It also says in that book, what you have done unto the least of mine, you've done unto me. Those are the things that I believe in, and this is the real Anniston. This is what I know about Anniston, that when you're called upon, you're going to help. Regardless of a pandemic, look what has happened here today. We don't never give up hope. This is what hope is all about. And I know the mission of the Boys and Girls Club, and it's very near and dear to me. And I know one of the greatest things they do is empower young people to do better. And I thank you all today on behalf of the city of Anniston, our mayor and our city council, I thank you for what y'all have done today, because it's not about pleasing me or pleasing the city. Y'all have pleased God today. And if you please God, I tell you, you can't do no better than that. And I wish nothing but blessing upon you and your families. And I tell you to continue to reach the star and keep your eyes on that prize, because we know what that true prize is. We know what the season's really about. Keep your eye on that star, keep your eye on that prize, because again, your gift, your concern, your honesty, there's so many things that I can say about that what you've done today, that God sees this, and God is very well pleased, has in mind. Thank y'all, and God bless each and every one of you.
And Keitha, she's our board chair, and however you choose to share, and any other board members as well, please.
Well, a year and a half ago, our family went through almost a tragedy where my daughter broke her neck in 5 places. And we raised our girls to give back all year long, but especially at Christmas time. So last year when Walt took the lead and donated and did, when my girls texted me this year, they both got married, and they both said, Mom, what are we doing for our families this year? They took a lead as adults, and my brain automatically went, I'm going to do what Walt does. So Walt, you not only inspired to help others, but you've inspired to help those of us who want to help others. So I'm just going to leave with a quote today. Yesterday, an act of kindness was given to me. Today, you could be standing next to someone who is trying their best to not fall apart. So whatever you do today, do it with kindness in your heart. And look around. We're here to give, but so many people are hurting and we just don't know it. So thank you, Walt, for inspiring me to help out as well.
Amen.
Any other board members?
I just want to say thank you, and a very, very big thank you to the Lowe's family, your family, and just thank the community of Anniston. The children need us. We're their village, and we just need to continue to take care of them. So thank you so much, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Amen.
I have Tony here from M&H Val. I called on Tony so many times, and I tell you, they have answered the bell each time. We had a situation at one of our clubs, and after being one of our largest donors for the year, I had to go back to Tony, and I can tell you in no uncertain terms, he led the way on what it is that we need to answer. And I don't know if Walt or his family want to say anything, but I will, Keitha, you reminded me of a quote, and I don't have it just quite directly because I didn't write it down, but certainly I know it's a Dr. Seuss quote. But if people like you didn't do these things, then it would never get done. So just please know that.
Well, thank you very much, and I just want to say, you know, how moved we are with everybody's response. We couldn't be more happy with, you know, what we're seeing in Anniston, and just everybody's, you know, coming together and doing something that's bigger than themselves. We couldn't think of a better way 3 years ago to honor our son John, and you know, we couldn't think of a better partner than the Boys and Girls Club. So the Boys and Girls Club live all the values that we live and try to live every day. We're far from perfect, but the Boys and Girls Club offers this place that is safe, is clean, you know, is good for our community, and we're just so proud to get to be a part of it. And thank you, Johnny and Keitha. It's just amazing. And thank you, Buffy, for getting me involved with it. And our family is just very, very inspired by this this year. I don't want to get emotional, but you know, growing up, my mom and dad, I remember, sponsored a family, and you know, it was something that stuck with me through my life. And when we were thinking, well, how could we, you know, honor John, that's what we thought of. And so you never know what sticks with you through your life. And we're just so excited by this, and hopefully the families are excited about this. And everybody at the club, you know, the directors, everybody that works in the office, you know, they put together the names. They put together the families. They're connected with everybody in the clubs. And we couldn't do that without all of you. And, you know, we've got something for you guys today, but listen, not looked over, that you guys make this possible. So thank you so much for everything that you do, and everybody that works in the office, and all the businesses and fellow board members, thank you for buying into all this, and we're just very lucky and blessed to be part of the community.
Coffee.
I just think it's great what Walton family has done. So, and I know, well, I have to look at the basketball. He's gonna relish in this just for the record. So, but I just think it's wonderful. So, and I know the others are very proud of it.
Correct.
You know, for me and my family, like Johnny said, this has been a year where, you know, it's hard to find the good in it. It really has been. And so, you know, when we got to this time of the year, we just kind of all, the three of us just said, you know, there's nothing I want this year. There's nothing I need, there's nothing I want. And so, when I just, talked to Johnny, and I said, so, like he said, when I got the list, it broke my heart. I mean, it really did. I'm sitting there worried about the trivial things in my life, and you know, and like he said, I was reading this list. But for us, it's been one of the most joyful years at Christmas I could ever remember. And nothing for me. I mean, nothing for me, material-wise. But I have had more fun doing this than I can remember in a long time. And, you know, Mr. Folks quotes a good book, and I'm so glad he does. But, you know, it also said, and I'm paraphrasing, you know, to those who are given much, much is expected.
There you go.
And, you know, I think we live in a land where we really do have a lot. Anybody in this country, we have a lot. But, you know, I think this makes me proud to live here and to see, you know, what people can do when they come together. And, you know, I think this can be a catalyst for a lot more things in our city.
Amen.
I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Tony?
Yeah, I appreciate your kind of words about M&H and myself, but to be honest, you lead the way. And the organization you lead is a wonderful organization, does a lot of good. And I always feel like businesses no better than the good it does in the community that it operates in. And so I was going to say, I feel privileged to help you out in the mission of this organization.
Ms. Sistrom?
Well, I really don't have anything to say. I just want to echo on everything everybody has said. I've met with a lot of people who have been dropping gifts off, and pretty much everybody has said, we're going to be contacting y'all next year. We're going to want to do this next year and the next year and the next year. I've been working with these brothers for the past 3 years, and I always tell them, this my gift. And I don't need anything else. So I think Craig's son this morning, a quick story with him. Everybody that he's been bringing stuff out, and I think I did it with him. I thought he was an older young man, so I really didn't say anything. So I said, well, how old are you? And he was like 15. I said, you play sports? He said, yes. I said, go back there and look in those shoes and see if you can try some shoes. No, he said, I wear 14. I said, oh, no. We don't have any 14 back there. I said, but we do have some gloves or something. And I was like, hold on right there. He's like, oh, you don't have to do that. I said, yeah, I do. Because everything y'all do for these kids, it would hurt my feelings if you walked out this door and didn't take it. And I did the same thing for another young lady Monday. And her son went down the hole. He was the only child. They brought this entire stack for one family. And he was like, no, ma'am, I can't take this. I said, please take this. And he was so excited to get those gloves and stuff that other people had donated us. So it's about giving. So thank you everybody for everything you do for our family. And thank you staff and Mr. Bird and the board and everybody for everything.
And you all, and I know it takes time in your families to do this, and I'll share with you a quick story that happened in the club, just to show you how important your time is. We were going through a transition over at one of our clubs, and so I happened to be out at the Lincoln Club one day, waiting to take care of some things, and the kids came in off of the bus, and certainly I don't get to the club nearly as much as I'd like to, but I took this opportunity and I said, let me just kind of see how the day were at school and what have you. And as I asked around, I got into one of the young persons there at the club, and he said, I had a spelling, I think he had a spelling test.
Spelling bee.
A spelling bee, and he had made a 100, or I think on the spelling test or whatever that he was sharing with me. So I told him, and I said, real quickly, I said, now, you continue to work hard. I told him, I said, and you can win, and just, we just had a conversation. Well, unbeknown to me, I was over at the club another time, and his mom was driving the truck, and they came where I was, and he just wanted to say hi to me. And I said, well, hey, how you doing, young man? How's school going, all this thing? And then, so I was over at the club the other day, and Miss Elston came to me and said, Mr. Bird, you remember the young man? Well, he asked about you and wanted to know, because I told him, I said, I'm gonna look out for you and get your reward. Well, to make a long story short, Miss Elston comes to me yesterday. He won the spelling bee
For the class and the school.
For the class and the school. Just goes to show you just what a little, and I take no credit for anything, but just him knowing somebody believed that he could do it all. And sometimes all it takes for our children is just one person to believe. It doesn't require a whole lot. So just know the difference that you're making. And I say to people all the time, when you see our children, they don't walk from the buses or the car to the clubs, they run. But after doing this for 20 some odd years of my life, I figured out why they're running. They're running from all of the bad things that are threatening their dreams and all those kind of things. So they're running into a place that will protect their dreams, their goals, and people who will not tell them what they cannot do, but people who tell them what they can do. So I know this took some of your time, but please understand, even for the time that the values that's in these boxes won't amount to the amount of time you put into and the care and the love you put into to get these things. Because that's the real cost and the real impact of what you all have done here today. It's not the gift that's in these boxes. It's the heart and the time that you just took a little time to do and to spend with someone else. And so I know I've kept you a little bit further than we had hoped to, but we don't want any of you to just rush out the door. Please take a moment and say hello to our families. Many of them could not be here just to what's going on today, school and all those kind of things, but I can assure you, please understand and know this, you have taken care of our children very, very well this year. So just rest assured with what you have done, if there's no other group of children in Anniston who can't sleep on Christmas night, rest assured that these will not be able to sleep on Christmas Eve because they're anxious and excited about what you've done. And that's the miracle of what you've done. Thank you all so much. And I want to make sure I did not forget or miss anybody. And if there's any parent, because parents, you're important. So if there's any parent that want to speak and say whatever you choose to say, you're more than welcome to do so. And I know sometimes you all feel, but because here's what one of the things that we have a mutual understanding. It's a privilege for your child to be served, and it's a privilege for us to serve your child. And no matter where our children come from, we don't allow a victim mindset to come through our doors. You have to believe that it's possible if you're going to keep coming here. So
thank you all for your time and attention today. And certainly thank you to the media. I fought very hard to try and get somebody out here, and I'm so glad it worked out that you all were in a position to come out and share this story with us. And whatever part of it that you share will mean the world to us, because there are some great and wonderful people in the city, and I don't want it to go unnoticed. And Walt did say, the unit directors that are here, Walt was afraid that he'd get your names wrong, so he did get something for each of you. If you want to try to read the names off.
Yes, that's Octavia Andrews.
Andrews. Someone will take it for her. She couldn't be present, but just sit, will you get this back for her, please? Here's Miss Sheila Elson. Miss Elson? Yeah, there's two Elsons.